When we say projection, what is it that we really mean? What is a projector? What is it to project? Where is the image? Where is the source of the image? Where does the image fall? Where does the image begin? Do we really know what we're saying, or are we just throwing words around because we heard somebody else on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube who claimed to be woke, had a turban on, probably no shirt to get extra views, say projecting? And not only did we like it, it was something that we know wasn't common in conversation, so we knew if we began to utilize it, it would bring attention our way and make us look a little smarter, even though we be doing dumb stuff all the time. Come on, let's look at it. I don't want these videos to be long. I want them to be straight to the point. I want them to be informative. I want them to be jam-packed with information that allows you to see clearly something that probably was obscure and just something to say before you watch the video. I don't know about y'all, but I used to watch TV on a projector. I used to play the video game on a projector. So I have some experience with projections. I have some experience in object that is used to project rays of light, especially an apparatus with a system of lenses for projecting slides or film onto a screen. What is the screen other than your mind? Where do these projections land, and where are they entertained the most other than in front of the screen of your mind? They sit in front of you and plague your every thought, even when you set your eyes on something that is nothing of an indication of its existence. So the screen is my mind that displays the projection. My ego is the projector, aka the accuser, aka the definer, the one who labels, dictates, and assumes to know things that it never could. The one anxious to judge and tear down other people for doing things that we don't acknowledge that we do ourselves. The one that's blind as a bat to its own dysfunction, but can point out the chaos across the room easily. Now though, something that we don't really hear talked about very often, and something I don't think we think about very often. Does a projector hold images within itself? Or is it connected to a source that feeds it video and audio, which it projects, pushes out onto the wall or onto the projector screen, aka your mind? The picture is so dope because just like the projector, if left unplugged and there's no source of video and audio feeding into it, it's empty and non-operating. But if you connect a source of video and audio up to it and you plug it into the wall and you turn it on, it will operate until you turn it off. Neville Goddard had a way of saying it. He used to say, your assumptions harden into fact. This is just another way of saying whatever you expect will be what you experience. This is another way of saying that you are the dictator and the controller in your experience. You determine what people give you. You determine what life presents to you, whether you believe it or not. Unconsciously, you have called every uncomfortable moment to you with your obsession and attention to the unwanted thing that you've encountered. I don't know why we act like our minds don't constantly play us back the movie of what if the worst thing that could happen to us happens and how we would respond. I don't know why we like to pretend like we don't spend most of our day unconstructively constructing narratives of what we would do to counter unwanted circumstances. I don't know why we would pretend like before we go and address people, state a need, or ask them for some help. Why we would pretend like we don't project onto these people the worst possible response that they could give, and then double back and say, well, we did that to protect ourselves just in case. But your just in case is an indication of just how lowly your expectations are, and your outcomes often align with these lowly expectations. You expect to get rejected. You rehearse that you don't want to get rejected on the way in the building. You're nervous to be rejected, and then you get rejected, and you blame the lack of vision in the person who turned you down. You're likely still a person that believes that you can feel any kind of way and it not determine and dictate your outcomes. You think that you can feel positive and someone or something still leads you to negative outcomes, and you think you can feel negative and still experience what you desire and happiness and peace, and it just doesn't happen that way. Your feelings dictate your state. What has your projector been plugged up to? Has it been plugged up to your brain, which contains all the past negative experiences, all of the trauma, all of the unwanted circumstances, all of the vain imaginations, all of the chatter of the ego? Or is it connected to truth? Do you see people and project onto them truth, or see them and project onto them your past, your fears, and your calculations of what their actions mean? When I go into myself to define something or someone I've never encountered, I merely project my understanding onto whatever or whoever it is that I behold. I am not looking and observing another person as who they are. I am making them out to be someone I can understand and describe based on those who I have experienced before them that they remind me of. My quick and often harsh judgments and expectations of a person or a moment do not derive from my familiarity with this person, place, or thing that I've never encountered. They are reflections of my own past and harbored fears that are often ignored and tucked away in corners where they are avoided. The only way to begin to deal with these blind spots is to utilize the projector that you are, but not to define and determine who others are like you have been doing with the projector, but actually to see who it is that you are operating as and where it is that your level of consciousness has landed. If I encounter a person and for whatever reason determine that I dislike this person, my distaste for the person does not tell me about their character. It discloses something to me hidden from myself about my character and my nature. I don't need to figure out what's wrong with this other person and why their presentation doesn't align more with mine. I need to figure out why, when I look at a creation of my source, when I look at a creation of my Father, another being that is everything that I am, why I feel or extend anything other than the same love that I would like extended to myself. You've been using the projector to judge the world when the projector is actually designed to broadcast in front of you the dysfunctions that you carry so that you can make the corrections and make the proper alignments with universal truth to live in love, peace, and harmony. Lock in.